Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? It is me. It is April 1st at 7:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I had to come on because, like I said in the description, on this day, 14 years ago, we were told the worst ultimate. I mean, it was really bad. That Gone Light, after 72 years broadcasting, was canceled. CBS canceled the show, longest running. So, hey, Jacarius, around one the greatest. It was really the soap opera to kick off the soap genre. Let's be real for a second. So yeah, at 7:42 p.m., I was at bingo. And I kept seeing my phone, my Nokia, okay, going off. And I didn't know what we was doing. So I'm talking about how we found out about the Gone Light cancellation 14 years ago. Hey, April. So I'm at bingo, getting ready. And like I said, phone blowing up and stuff like that. Okay, I'm checking them out. And the lady says, I'm going to do just like she did. Before we start tonight's bingo, the show The Guiding Light, the soap opera The Guiding Light. Now, at this point, I'm like, okay, bingo is talking about Guiding Light. Let me find out somebody from Guiding Light said bingo, right? Okay. She goes on and says, it was just announced that The Guiding Light has been canceled. We'll start bingo in about 15 minutes. I looked at my freaking phone and everything. I see that I missed like 10 calls, 14 messages, and all this stuff. I didn't believe it because, one, it was April Fool's. It was April Fool's Day. What did they tell you? Not to believe anything on April Fool's Day. So I go ahead and I'm like, this ain't real. 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 I saw Lawrence St. Victor and Emmy Rollins' Facebook. Emmy had the sad face, and Lawrence was like, bro, like, really sad. And I was like, nah, this still ain't right. Gone Light ain't canceled. I mean, we've heard this so many times that Gone Light was going to be canceled because it always was between, at that time, Days and Gone Light. Gone Light, Days, or Lives. One of these shows would not make it, right? Okay. And then the next day, it was everywhere. They said, no, it wasn't an April Fool's joke. It was really canceled. That was 14 years ago. And that started a whole thing. Because then it was As the World Turns. Then it was All My Children, One Life to Live. Right? Okay. And the crazy part was that everybody was still like, and rightfully so, having this beacon of hope that somebody, NBC or ABC or somebody would, save the show. Because first and foremost, it was the longest running show in broadcast history. Okay. Radio to television and stuff like that. And there was so many opportunities. I remember the rallies. People wanted to be on Lifetime. People, like, this is before OWN, by the way. People was trying to get it online somehow. Like, somebody had to save this freaking show. And it was crushing because that was the year they was getting everything right. Philip returned. There were some characters that was in and out, coming, Coop's death. 14 years later, it still hurts, to be honest with you. Jacarius asks, speaking of Gone Light, what storylines throughout the years that you hated? I mean, hindsight, I hated the time travel storyline. I'm going to be honest with you, because I know if you ask this question, everybody's going to say the clone storyline. But to me, the time travel storyline sucked. The storyline, what was it? Marianne Carruthers murder and everything when Ed slapped Michelle. Oh, earrings came off that day for me. But yeah, it still leaves like Gunlight being taken off the air, and it doesn't even sound like 14 years. Like it's been 14 years. It really has. But it doesn't feel like it, which is actually a good thing, because you take a look at General Hospital, currently has Laura Wright, Cynthia Watros, and them over there. Hey, Lakina, you take a look at Bold and Beautiful. We got Lawrence St. Victor over there. You take a look at Young and the Restless. You take a look at Days. Then you look onto the digital shows like Venice, Beacon Hill, and Anacostia the Bay. Then you look at the audio dramas, Forever and a Day. Thank you very much. And then you start to see that Gunlight hasn't gone, but it has been off the air for 14 years. And it's always that question of, okay, we live in a world right now where everything is being streaming and everything like that. Can Gunlight please come back on the air? And I'm with you guys. I'm just hoping Procter & Gamble does it. You know, Procter & Gamble is the ones that's holding it back, because I'm pretty sure Amazon or Netflix or heck, even YouTube or somebody would do a channel. I don't know. But, you know, it's just, it was one of those days where you just was like, oh, you need to do a Gunlight and that's will turn spaces sometimes. I did one time. Okay, here's the thing. I always try to do something Gunlight as well turns, because if you guys know me, I am a CBS girl. I grew up watching the other shows too, but mainly Gunlight and As Well Turns was like my jam, right? Obviously, y'all know the stories. I am going to probably do, if Twitter Space is allowing me to, I will do an As Well Turns, because tomorrow is their anniversary tomorrow as well. And then on June 30th, I have something special planned for Gunlight. I can't talk about it. I can't, don't ask me. I can't talk about it. But June 30th, 1952 was when they debuted on television. I am going to try to do something. I can't really talk about it, but it's going to be something for the Gunlight fans. And if you go to the Facebook group 75 years and shining, still shining Gunlight page, you'll find out more about it. But I can't talk about anything else. Please don't. I can't. My publicist told me, I don't have a publicist, but it sounded good coming out of my mouth though. Yeah. How did you feel about Marine being killed off? Okay. This is called the storyline that really changed the game for Gunlight. Like the whole landscape of Gunlight changed because of this. I thought it was shocking because the character wasn't sick. The character wasn't, it was a legit, like the dramatic of Ed and Lillian's. See, this is okay. Lily and Ed, let me go back to this. Actually, let me go back to the whole Marine thing. This was not the first time Ed cheated, okay? And Marine got over it. She loved Michelle because Michelle came from Claire, all that. All right, cool. With Lillian and Ed, it was an emotional affair that turned into a physical affair, which some soaps needs to do that more a little bit, because I felt I was like, no, Lillian, no, Ed, no. Oh my gosh. Like when I was a kid, I didn't understand it. But when I look at it again as an adult, I'm realizing some things. I'm like, okay, Lillian had a tough time with relationships, obviously because of Bradley, right? Because of that whole situation, right? Okay. And yeah, she was with Hawk, if y'all remember that, for a brief period of time, right? But she was looking for somebody that was comforting. And she saw that in Ed. Obviously, when you're working long hours together, you do form a bond. You do feel emotional connection, especially if you're dealing with life or death situations. Okay. With Marine was the Pollyanna. For those who watch Knots Landing, you know the reference. Because even though Marine was sort of the beacon of the family at that time, she was also trying to be perfect in a sense of, okay, I have to be the perfect wife. But her friendship with Roger kind of threw her off. This is where it gets really interesting at, because I'm going to say something very controversial. I'm going to say it in my mic. I wish Maureen and Roger was a thing. Like, Lillian was a home wrecker too. Like, it just played so well. So when it happened and Maureen found out, as a kid, you don't understand the whole situation. You just knows that, okay, Maureen is mad at Ed, but why? When you're an adult, you're like, and this woman put up with the child that you had out of wedlock and all that stuff, and you go ahead and do this. And not only that, but Lillian is supposed to be Maureen's friend. Oh no, gloves are off. However, I will say this: Tina Salone, Peter Simon, and Ellen Dole did their thing. They did their thing. They sold that storyline. As far as the killing off of Maureen Bauer, look, those were the days where you were surprised and shocked at what the story, because the storyline could have went either or, right? But to know that this drove her to her death, that is the ultimate consequence for Ed and for Lillian. And it played out till the end of the episode of the fact that because of Maureen's death, neither one of them could really find peace. I was just like, whoo, that is like, again, she did deserve that Emmy. And the thing is that, you know, I wish certain shows like when you do a cheating storyline on a spouse, there should be some consequences, long-term consequences. Like, you take a look at Young and the Restless. Young and the Restless with Phyllis, Sharon, and Nick. The consequence is because of Cassie's death. But also, Summer is I'm not saying she's you know what I'm saying? She's a reminder of what Phyllis and Nick did. That was a consequence that produced in Summer. But some of these shows are afraid to do that now, and I don't understand why. Like, Bridget will always be reminded that Deacon and Brooke had sex, created hope. Consequence. But yeah. How did I feel about Mara and Tony? I liked them. They were cute. I mean, Jordy's cute, so I did like them. I thought that was a really good couple too. So yeah. Let me see. I hate that they killed them off, but it was briefly done. There was stakes and consequences to actions. Exactly. I was like, oh. And that scene still gets me when they're in the hospital and they're working on her. And everybody's confronting Ed, like, you know, Nick is like, hey, man, are you okay? Are you all right? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. See, that's what I also miss with soaps is you didn't have to have a bunch of dialogue doing a scene like that. You actually had moments where it was like you were really waiting as if you were in the hospital room. Like when they did a close shot of Vanessa was like, you know, kind of just like hoping and praying. And you see Alan Michael, who I have to constantly tell people is, you know, the nephew and everything. He's there. You got Ed just kind of just like, okay, you know, in a position where it's like, you don't even know what he's feeling. Then you got Eve coming out with the music. Like that, look, that was probably the most iconic part when it was like, and it was like, you know, Ed turns around because he knows that something's going on. And Eve, and you still see the people, by the way, still kind of working on Maureen and kind of like, take a look at the extras. Give a shout out to the extras in that scene back there because they're taking off the gloves and everything. And then Eve is like, sorry. And then you have Vanessa, oh, Maureen. And then I was like, oh God, you know, it's like, I'm like, oh my God, that scene gets me every freaking time. You see, I still don't get it. Like, Gus was supposed to be a Santos. Like, why did they change and have him be a long lost Spalding? Because they was losing Spaldings. You didn't have an Alan Michael. And they kind of had to build it back up because they wanted the continuation of the Spaldings and Coopers. So it made more sense to have Gus, be all, Spalding and stuff like that. So, woo. You watch it for the first time. Oh my God. Yes. It was so good. Ice only says, while we're talking, do you think they should let Sheila die? Heck no. But I wouldn't be surprised if Lee is the one to do it. Or Finn. Just saying. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's General Hospital. Yes, it also April 1st is also the anniversary of General Hospital. Congratulations on 60 years. And also the doctors. The doctors, yes. And also Judy Evans is celebrating 40 years in daytime. Let me give a shout out to her. Also, it's the anniversary of Cruz and Eden Santa Barbara wedding. Thank you. I will give them credit too. Let me see. Oh my God, I was just thinking about let me see. Yeah, I just remember that. Let's see. What was it? It was a Toro. Oh God. Augustus Arturo Spalding. Lakina, you missed some wild times on CBS. Wild times. And yes, Oh no, she has consequences because here's the thing. See, okay, this is what I said, I think the other night or whatnot, when I said I need for Finn to have a larger part in the storyline. Because I think what they're going to do is Finn is going to be, quote unquote, the savior. And I think that's going to cause some friction between him and Steffi and Lee. However, my thing is that Sheila thinks she got off scot-free. But wouldn't it be a twist if Finn kills her? Consequence! Let me see. What was the worst Gone Light opening? I'm going to say to 2000, 2003. No, I take that back. The hands-on, when it was like when they did the saying of Gone Light, but they had the hands like, here we go. All that times. I love that, but I didn't like the hands because I think what they should have did was show the characters. That's what I thought. Let me see. From my standpoint, Gone Light and Harley was last. I'm going to agree, but I'm going to say maybe Jonathan and Tammy. Just saying. My nephew was named after Alan Michael Spalding because my sister had a crush on him. I totally understand that. Rick Hurst. By the way, did y'all see the recent photos of Rick Hurst from last Tuesday? It was the white endangered, it's Michael R. Jackson who is doing a soap opera play, which I'm going to check out. I am going to try to check out. But last Tuesday, they teamed up with Soap Opera Digest for Soap Night, and Alan Locker, by the way, shout out to him. Happy 3rd anniversary to him. They had like a soap night, and they had all the people from As the World Turns, One Life to Live. Seeing Rick Hurst, though, just made my heart sing because y'all know I have a crush on him. And I'm like, oh, there's Gina Tognoni. And I'm like, Liz Kiefer. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, some of my Forever and a Day co-stars is over there. I was just like, I did like this. I was like, geez. Like, I loved it. What was the best Gone Light recast? I mean, Gina Tognoni, Ron Raines, Marge Doucet. Liz Kiefer, Sherry Springfield. Oh God. There was so many freaking recasts though on the show. Everybody. Everybody. There you go. Everybody. Except for 2, maybe. I was just thinking of seeing Dr. Green left the child murderer die. He flatlined. Exactly. Shanika, I think the same thing. I'm like, for me, the consequence would be that Finn and Lee are struggling. And Finn is then reminded of the stuff that Sheila has done, because half of me, I need for Bo to really play Finn and Lee more heavily. I think they should have been played more heavily. in this, because again, it started with that was the whole situation, was her trying to get to know Finn. And I think they dropped the ball a little bit, and I think they need to pick it back up. So I'm actually hoping that's the case, is that when Lee said, no, like, let her die. Like, you got to understand, that's where Lee's coming from. She's like this. She tried to, she left me for dead. Like, she don't deserve to live. But I think Finn is going to feel a certain type of way. But I think if I was really writing the show, I would have Finn drag this out and then give her the medicine to kill her. Like, Mom, you said you'll do anything. You love me to death. Okay. Have fun. I was screaming on my phone when Brett killed Nate. Yo, that was... Some people say it was stupid. I will say the fact that she was predicting her own death, that's scary. It's like, it was me. Bah! I'm like, oh my God. And then they took them a while to find Nadine's body. Oh my God. Though all the MSC base soaps have been off the air for more than a decade, the legacy continues to enjoy throughout. Oh yeah. And that's what I said to Rel, is that Guiding Light, as well turns All My Children, One Life to Live, Loving the City, Edge of Night, Ryan's Hope, all of them are still carrying on in the different platforms. And I'm fine with that. I just miss seeing my peeps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I miss hearing this. I miss hearing that. I miss seeing my Reva and my Joshua. I miss the Spaldings. I miss the Coopers. I miss the Boudreaux. I miss the Fletcher. I miss Blake. I miss Jerry Van Dorn. I miss everybody. And I'm like, I miss Oakdale. I miss my Lillian Holden, my Carjack. I miss my Lucinda Walsh, my Craig Montgomery. I miss them all. But I look at, like I said, General Hospital, who's now taking that slide as the longest running in production. Oh yeah, Melinda Carrier. Yes, she started out my Elaney. Yes, and I love Jennifer too. But when I look at Guiding Light, I mean General Hospital, I still see my girls. You know, Bold and Beautiful, Young and the Restless. You know, Days, like, I still see the legacy of Guiding Light, because here's the thing: Days of Our Lives is the last soap with Erna Phillips' bloodline in it. Like, her bloodline does have Days. She was over on Days, you know, so it's William J. Bell. So the fact that Days is still around, the legacy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that gets me, is that, and again, like I said, you got the Venice, you got Beacon, you got Forever and a Day, you know, we're carrying it on for you guys. The Sheila storyline needs to end. They had Nicholas poison Helena once, and Helena poisoned half her family too. Frank deserved to have another child. Marina was something else. I'll admit. Marina, look, she was a true Cooper woman. Yes, she was. It's crazy. None of the streams carry. I mean, Retro does carry the doctors, and I think today they had the anniversary special and stuff like that. But you're right. The fact that you got Pluto, you got all of these things. But again, the majority of these classic soaps are Procter & Gamble. And Procter & Gamble, for some unknown reason, I think it's because they're afraid they're going to lose money. And I understand that. But you need to try to put one of them out. And I've always said Edge of Night needs to be the one to go first. Because, yes, I know Procter & Gamble has Somerset, but not everybody knows about Somerset, right? Okay. Not a lot of people knows Texas, unless you're a Beverly McKenzie fan, okay? I'm just saying. But if you was to put out a Guiding Light, I wouldn't do that, me personally. I want to see if the audience is there. Clearly the audience is there. But yeah, you know. They had Print at 6 years old. Yeah, Reva had menopause. She had cancer. She had to see Jacarius. This is what we like to call they ran out of ideas. Because here's the thing, and she wasn't the first, because everybody will go back to talking about when Rachel on Another World had twins. Okay, so Reva having babies in later life. I mean, here's the reality. The reality is older women past the age of 50 are still giving birth. Just saying. Okay. Well, I was pointing out the niggas poison. Oh yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I know we don't talk about that. But no, like my whole thing is I do want Finn, me personally, I want Finn to get a little dirty. I need for them because it's been a good ride that Finn has been the the savior of the triangle, and he's proven that he's worthy of Steffi. But what I do need for him to do is get dirty a little bit because of the Sheila. Sheila is your mama who's destroying your life, technically. He really did destroy your life because she killed you. But I want to see what happens. I'm praying that they do that. Tammy's death hit me so hard. It was so sad. Look, let me tell you something. When they killed off Tammy, I bawled. I knew Stephanie was leaving the show. But I was like, damn, like, you're going to do this? Like, I didn't know how they were going to do it. I thought maybe there was a recast. But it's in true form of what Guiding Light is that life happens. You can have the best day of your life and be smiling and everything. And then 24 hours later, you're crying because somebody died. It's life. That's a life cycle. I will say for it to be the anniversary week, because that was actually something that did happen on Guiding Light, is that, a character had died that the fans loved so much, and they killed the character. I will say that when Tom Pelphrey, by the way, congratulations to Kaylee Colt and Tom, they had a baby, the baby girl. When he climbed up on top and was like, no, I felt that because Tammy was the only person that really accepted Jonathan for his faults and his highs and his lows. And I appreciate it. That's why I'm going to say, to me, I think Jonathan and Tammy may have been Guiding Light's last super couple. Gus and Harley was already established. So to me, I do think Jonathan and Tammy was the last of Guiding Light. Just saying. Let me see. How do you feel about Olivia Spencer? I loved Olivia Spencer. Oh my God. I love Crystal Chappelle. Y'all know this. Olivia was that girl. She was that girl. And I really enjoyed the growth and development. See, that's something else a lot of soaps don't do, is take their time with the development of a character. Because yes, a character can change like that. We know. But you have to make it connect. And I love how they did that. JFP was responsible for killing off Frankie Frame on Another World, which lasted. I mean, okay. I will say this, because it's a twofold with that, Terrell. Yes, she was responsible for that, which still to this day is the most brutal killing of them all. As far as the show's demise or the downfall, that was NBC. Because NBC kind of started, and Procter & Gamble, because they start to slowly pull out of the soap game. Procter & Gamble did. Now, I will say it was Procter & Gamble and then NBC, because here's the thing. NBC switched real quick. They stopped promoting Another World as heavy as they did for other programming. Because this is why Days fans feel a certain type of way about NBC. Because with Days, Santa Barbara, and Another World was getting more press than and promotions than Days on NBC until around 97 onto the last year. They still was getting promoted, but not as heavily as before. And yeah, because remember, the reason that opening changed to the ER opening was to save money, because Procter & Gamble was slowly cutting out a little bit. So yeah, I don't want to say there was a lot of factors, but I mean, if we're going to look at a show that did have the demise and downfall, we got to look at GH with Joe towards the end part. They really had Lizzie trying to kill her unborn sister. I wonder why. Because Lizzie wanted all the attention to herself. At this time in the game, you got to remember that Lizzie was still selfish. Plus, she did not want any other Like James was one thing because he was a boy, but to have another girl, see, that's the competitive. Lizzie didn't want to compete with another girl. She didn't want Daddy's girl title to be taken away. Plus, Lizzie was a little psycho. God, I miss her. Which Gunlight alum do you think had the most successful post? Murray Bartlett, Tom Pelfrey, oh God, Melinda, Kevin Bacon, God, Khaleesa. There's so okay. You really want me to do this? Okay. By far, the alumni to have the best success is actually two. It's actually two. Well, three, four. Screw it. Billy D. Williams, James L. Jones, Aaron Ziering, Taye Diggs, Kevin Bacon, Christopher Walken. Oh shoot, what's the guy that did the studio actor thing? James. Oh, y'all know who I'm talking about. I mean, Jesse Lee Sulphur was on Guiding Light. Brittany Snow was on Guiding Light too. Oh God, Hayden. I'm like really going through the whole book, right? Okay. Bethany. Oh shoot. Let's see who else. Tom Lawrence. Pretty much everybody. Everybody. I'm like really like thinking about it. I'm like, okay, because you got Star Wars. You got, I mean, you know, Murray Bartlett, who's like the latest graduate. Like we've really seen him grow up. Let me see. Reva having kids out of nowhere. I mean, here's the thing. Johnson was this is the thing about what I liked about Guiding Light. Guiding Light took Jonathan and placed him in a time. Thank you, James Lipton. Placed him at a time where, you know, Kim Zimmer wasn't really technically on. It was during the missing years. So it made sense. That's how you do it. Because on Days of Our Lives, they could have done it with Ben and Marlena, but they chose not to. And I know people get upset when I talk about it, so I ain't gonna do it. I saw Tom Pelfrey on Banshee, and I said he did an amazing job. I wasn't expecting to see that side of him. Let me tell you something. Tom Pelfrey is a young Marlon Brando. You know what I'm saying? Like, we witnessed his, like, if anything, we witnessed his growth from the time he was on Guiding Light to, yeah, I know people have something to say about the Aswell Turns thing. I know. But I saw him in Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which was the Julie Garden play. And he was amazing in that. Then you're right, to see him in Iron Fist. By the way, hey, Marvel, I need for you to bring that back. Because Iron Fist was the best. Oh, yeah. Nina Long. Yeah, I'm like, there's so many people on Guiding Light that, like, literally had the best, you know, career. I'm just saying. But yeah, Tom Pelfrey, like his range of acting and the fact that like Ozark, if y'all haven't checked him out on Ozark, yes, you been. He has a movie that's coming out soon. I'm just saying, like, oh yeah, Angela Bassett, by the way, was also on Guiding Light. Ryan's Hope, Search for Tomorrow. But no, like that's the thing is that like Tom Pelfrey, I mean, again, and he can get into these roles to the fact that you believe him. Like, it's like he can play the nicest guy in the world, but he also can play the nicest guy who's the serial killer. Let me see. I hate Kim Zimmer retired. I mean, she wants to be grandmama. She really does. I would love to see Kim Zimmer come to eat. Okay. I was thinking about this the other day about Kim Zimmer coming to GH because I know for me, I know what the headline is going to be. Kim Zimmer comes, and of course, you know, everybody on Twitter and social media are going to show clips of Kim Zimmer and Laura Wright, Kim Zimmer and Cynthia Watros, right? Okay. But the problem is, okay, that was weird. But the problem is that I hope there's no power outage about to happen. Yeah, there would be no sets. Oh my God, Kim Zimmer and Jeannie Francis, though, I would be in for it. But I've seen Kim Zimmer and Nancy Lee Grahn together, because Nancy Lee Grahn did a thing, a web thing. But see, I don't trust a lot of writers with my actors. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have said that, but I really don't in this situation, because I'm always wondering. I'm like, hey Daphne, I'm always questioning. I'm like, okay, should ego, yeah, you see. Well, here's the thing about Ava. So here's what I loved that GH did, Frank and them did. With Ava's mom, I love the fact that it's Delia Ryan from Ryan's Hope. That is how you keep Ryan's Hope's legacy alive. So technically speaking, Ava is part of the Ryans. That's what I'm talking about. The universe of soaps. Like, yeah, Chris and Dan wouldn't know. But we say, I was watching and it's all Tom Pelphrey running naked. Like, what am I saying? Tom Pelphrey being naked. He has no shame. He's an actor. He's method. Just saying. What was your favorite Gone Light soap? What do you mean? Because Gone Light was my soap. I know that the last actress who played Maureen went over to marry the actor. Oh yeah, Mandy Bruno and Robert Bogue. They're the sweetest. By the way, they're the sweetest people. I mean, seriously, like they work together. You actually see their movie Rockstar on Amazon Prime. Highly recommend it. And Mandy has done some stuff. Robert's done some stuff since then too, and everything. I would actually like. I know Mandy's more theater. She likes theater, but I wouldn't mind seeing her back on daytime. Same thing for Robert, who's a clown. Y'all can make sure y'all can clip that and send it to him if you want. They're really good peeps though. I can't remember when they got together. God. I was literally looking at my photo books just now, like a couple hours ago. I was like, my God, I was like, woo, some pictures. Like everybody, like it's crazy because I used to hang out with, as far as the fan events go, Tom, Stephanie, Emmy, John Driscoll, Caitlin Van Zandt, Bonnie, Lawrence, and them. They all got kids now, except for EJ Bonella and me. Yes! Like, it's like, yay! They all got kids. Such is life. But yeah, Gone Light, that darn show. That show literally had a hook on me and whatnot. I miss that show. Why do I think there's going to be a power outage? Unless my light's about to... I just turn my light on. Yeah. But yeah, Gone Light, that darn show. That freaking show. I still don't know how it was in shape for... Let me tell you about Robert Newman. Okay. When I found out... Because, all right, I always said... Oh, we're getting a storm? Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Lakina, for the... It's Daphne's fault. Growing up, I always kept thinking, like, ABC, that they would do, like, a crossover. So I always had it where there was this big business meeting, right? And it was going to be in General City, right? And, of course, Victor Newman, Jack Abbott was going to be there. And then all of a sudden, Craig Montgomery, Lucinda was going to be there. And then Joshua and Alan Spaulding would come over to the GC. I always wanted that. So when I found out Robert Newman was coming to the Young and the Restless, I nearly screwed. Daphne, Lakina, and everybody can tell you, I lost my ever-loving mind. I was like, storm's coming from her way. No, it's coming from your way, Daphne. But no, I was like... Holy crap, Robert freaking Newman is coming back on CBS Soap. And I was like, darn it, Procter & Gamble, you could have gave me Joshua Lewis. But I was cool. And then when he had scenes with Eric Braeden, I was like, ah! And yes, Curious, a lot of us was replaying that scene too, where during the Clone Reva days, teenage Reva, played by Bethany, was talking about, I want to go to this place. I think it's a place. It's called Genoa City. And it was like, they just now talked about Young and the Restless on Gunlight. Fitting, because Erna taught William J. Bell. But I always, it was just crazy. I was like, oh my God, this is actually happening. Like that made my whole year. That, like, well, part of it last year was when they said Robert was coming to Young and Restless, and I understood the assignment. He was only going to be there for a short period of time, but my God, he did his thing, and I was like, Emmy nomination. How do you feel about Trevor St. John's current Young and the Restless role as Tucker? I love it. This is one of those roles where this is up Trevor St. John's alley. I think what got us was, okay, we're led to believe that Tucker is obviously Devon's dad. If you take a look at Trevor St. John and Brighton James, this isn't like Stephen Nichols and Brighton James. This isn't like as far as Boy Meets World's dad and Brighton James. Literally, I'm fine with it. I love the layers of Trevor, and I think I'm sorry, of Tucker, and I think it's because Trevor is really just having a ball, and I love that about it, is that he is one of these characters that we know what he can do, but right now he's giving me entertainment, and I love it. How do you feel about the Mel character? Which Mel? And not for nothing, Trevor St. John has good chemistry with Eileen Davidson. You know, are there any? Let me see. Oh, Mel Boudreaux. Oh, my Melissa Boudreaux. I loved her because she was a lawyer and a doctor, getting 2 paychecks in one. Oh, are there any soap characters that have been DH due to recasting of actors? Brittany, Daisy on Gown Light. Daisy is older than Lizzie. Okay, if we're doing the timeline, Daisy is older than Lizzie. So I guess because they couldn't find an actress old enough, I don't know. But, you know, that's one. DH. I don't think so. I'm trying to think, really. Do you know how long Trevor will be on? Oh yeah, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah's supposed to be like in her 40s or something like that, I guess. Do you know? I don't know how long Trevor is going to be on. I think he signed a contract a year, but I'm not too sure. Let me see. I wish. Oh yeah, Frank. Well, I think with the Frankie character, because we got to count the city. We got to count Loving in the city with this. They had him on the right age in the city. You're right. They did DH Frankie by like a year or 2, I think. I wish they could have given her more storyline because I love Mel. I didn't like how they had Rick cheated on her with Beth. Remember that? Sadly, I do. And I remember the politics about that. Because this was one of those things, again, where not a lot of people was for the interracial couples. A lot of people made a fuss about Mel and Rick. How far we've come. And they just thought it was a great creative way to have him and Beth when Beth was starting to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And yeah. Hey. But it's crazy. You know what else is crazy is that Gonlight's been off for 14 years, but I can remember every single freaking storyline. What if Tyler met Drusilla? Oh my God. Oh, Tyler. Oh, Tyler. Which, like, Tyler? Like, Abby's Tyler? Because remember you remember him? Remember Tyler? Remember him? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have some breaking news. Hold on, please. Candice, don't cry talking about God and Light. Okay, thank you. Really? I'm not going to cry. Oh, if Tucker met Drusilla. Oh, okay. Now let me ask this question. Trevor St. John or Stephen Nichols' version? Because I'm going to tell you something. Trevor St. John. I mean, not Trevor St. John. Stephen Nichols and Victoria Raoul could have had that freaking chemistry. I could see it. Totally see it. Totally see it. Got it. With Trevor, though, it would be interesting to see how him and Victoria plays off of each other. That would be interesting. I do know that some soap actors retire after their time of raising their family. That is true. Why they wrote Harley in some kind of way. She slept with her and then hi. Okay, it's fine. There was a lot. I mean, they didn't know really what to do with Harley. And because Ricky Paul didn't renew his contract, they actually had story for Gus and Harley. But because everything was happening behind the scenes so freaking fast, they was just like, okay, let's just write everything we can. And then when Beth chose not to renew and she decided to leave, they was just like, well, screw it. Like this is, but it's crazy because Harley was written the same way that Beth was, in a sense that, Beth slept with, her daughter's boyfriends and stuff like that. But I think for Harley, it was out of character a little bit, but they could have managed to say something about that, but oh no. It's great that Shamar is back. Just wish it was for one more day. Look, he's a new daddy and he had time. You know what I'm saying? Like Miguel was coming back. He was like in the background. He was there. It's like, hey, how you doing? Thank you. I don't think his scenes got cut or anything, but but let me get back to Shamar because here's the thing. We all knew Shamar was going to come back for the anniversary. Shamar will never forget where he came from. That's one of the reasons I love him, because he never forgot where he came from. There are some soaps Vex that would come back, even if it was for sure. I mean, even look, I still give credit to Julianne Moritz because she was on a film. She rearranged her schedule just to fly in for those short words on As the World Turns finale and then leave. It was by far the shortest stint in record history. I'm just saying. And Harley having 3 baby days, too, looking back, her being together with Rick made no sense. It did. Wait a minute. It kind of did in a sense because they were trying to break the mold of a Spalding and Cooper. So the fact that he's a Bauer and it was Cooper and everything. Also, the ultimate thing was Rick and Philip was like buds, And in the history of Rick and Philip, they always had the same woman. So it made sense, but some of the other stuff didn't make sense. Oh, Rick Bauer, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. What do you think about the Boat and Hope stuff? Okay, I'm going to say something that might be controversial. I like it. I like the Bo and Hope arc so far because to me, okay. This was supposed to be the second part of Beyond Salem. But of course, Peacock, said, hey, we're going to take On Days of Our Lives full time. What's going on now is something in Daisy's warehouse. It's called The Adventure. Because keep in mind, Hope and them do not know that Bo's alive. We, the audience, Kayla and Kate knows. And of course, Megan and Dr. Ralph. But nobody else knows. I'm fine with Bo being a Kyriakis. This is like Robo John, Robo Steve, Robo Ben, Robo Chad, all of those robots into one. Because this is going to give me, because here's the thing. They're obviously setting up the Victor stuff. And yes, I heard the Soap Opera Digest podcast. Yes, I did take away, I see everybody was like, in shock and whatnot. But to me, I'm like, this is a short stint. Like, this is what they like to call, sweeps. Because that's basically what it was. It was sweeps. I'm liking it so far. I like the Harrison aspect because I'm be honest, Kristen Alfonso and Steve Byrne had chemistry. I love the fact that Sierra was kind of a hypocrite. I'm fine with all that. I'm good. I'm loving it. I can't wait to see, because my whole thing is that, okay, Bo taps into his evil side. When Hope finds out and there's a wild goose chase, let's go. Days, let's do it. I'm fine with it. I wouldn't mind Days bringing back Eve. I mean, I thought for certain for Beyond Salem 2, they were going to bring Charlotte Ross back. I really did. But I want to see if it's true, because if they do bring her back, I'm not mad. I wouldn't be mad at that either. Was As Well Turns canceled, or did they call it quits? CBS canceled As Well Turns because Les Moonves is pretty much because Procter & Gamble, aka Telemedia, and also Les Moonves decided to pull the plug, even though they were technically renewed and then they got canceled. Okay. I was never aware that As Well Turns was getting canceled. Nobody was. It was a surprise to us all, because I remember when they kept saying, if Days with Guiding Light hits under a 1.6, that's it. Guiding Light had a 1.7. Actually 1.8, because the return of Edmund and Philip Spaulding kind of, came back. And Guiding Light was getting more viewers. So for them to pull the plug on this day, 14 years ago, and then a couple months later, surprise, As Well Turns is getting canceled. What? What's happening? And then ABC decided to do whatever. I wish Jason, Kim, and Kelly. I mean, I do too. But seeing Brooklyn Ray as Emma, that was a welcoming surprise. Leslie Charleston's voice. Yeah. I can't see Steve on any other role because Jason, I miss my boy. I mean, look, I remember him before he was a Jason. So she was in talks with Days. Okay. Is Bo Live ever coming back? I don't know. I mean, I know that they were off for a week because Casey was in Rome. Must be nice. I haven't heard anything about Bo Live not coming back. I'm pretty sure it's going to come back, and I'm pretty sure when it does come back, everybody's got something to say. So we'll see about that. But yeah, like I said, the Bo and Hope thing, and I see people upset about what's going on right now, but my whole thing was it was never a guarantee for certain things. So, I remember on that show, right? One Life to Live's race was better than Brian Franz. Oh, Brian Franz, it wasn't just because of politics. It was because of favoritism. Because he liked the GH better than One Life to Live. I have nothing against this. I'm going to speak my mind about it. Brian Franz really, really loved GH better than One Life to Live. So that's what I got to say about that. He also had an obsession with Dawson's Creek. I never knew it was on. Oh yeah, she was on this. I wish. I'm gonna be honest. I'm fine with that. I'm fine how they set that up. I love the fact that Epiphany died while doing something that she loves, saving somebody's life. I love the fact that they incorporated her health, because when I thought when they said it, I did envision it, and I was like, yeah, because of her heart and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah. Again, it's a consequence when you're working as a doctor or a nurse or a firefighter or something. Something's going to happen. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because I have something to say to you guys about that. Okay, first and foremost, if you don't know, if you didn't hear it, if you wasn't made aware of it, in Times Square yesterday, there was a surprise. To everybody who didn't know, I didn't know anything about it, and I'm a part of the group. But the Sabrina fans got together to create a video that was on a jumbotron in Times Square. Yes, the Times Square. And it was to promote the couple. They actually had an event this week, right now, today, and I think tomorrow as well. They're doing a private dinner. They're just sold out. And they was promoting Sabrina. Now, let me just address this right now. I am so over the downing of fandoms for doing something to promote their couples that these shows and networks should be doing as well. Because I saw a lot of the comments about Sabrina fans. They were like, you guys got a lot of money. Okay, yes, I know everybody doesn't have money. I get that. Trust me. But don't downplay a fandom's joy. Because I don't want to say it was because I saw the competition. Everybody's like, well, my fandom and I'm going to honestly say this right now. One thing about the Sabrina Nation fandom that I enjoy the most is that they don't downplay on anybody else. They're not like, we're better than you. We're better than you. No, they literally cheer everybody else on, because the Sabrina fans and Taraya fans, shout out to Taraya fans, they're pretty much two fan bases that spreads positivity. And lately I've been noticing on some fandoms, not all, but it's more negative because it's a competition. Because I saw some people saying, well, our fandom, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Like, we're going to outdo this. First of all, I can't stand when people do a competition. I mean, there's sometimes it's good, but sometimes in this situation, you guys are all doing the same thing. You're showing love to the actors who are portraying the characters that you love. You're giving them their flowers now instead of years later. You are promoting couples and representation and stuff, which, by the way, ABC, I give you credit for some things, but y'all should be promoting a little bit more. I mean, I'm going to give you credit for what y'all did on Tamara Hall. I got something to say about The View, by the way, with Maurice. Finola Hughes taking over, and her anniversary is coming up too, and all this press coverage. And Young and Restless, you know how I feel about it. But to me, I just love seeing the fandoms get together and doing stuff like this and promoting and spreading the love. I am over them saying, oh, y'all doing this for the attention. No, it's to promote what they love. The end. Okay, thank you. And I do agree. I hope GH really does invest in Sabrina and Trina, because in Spencer and Trina, because the thing is that, it's one thing to have them on the covers of these magazines. It's one thing to know that there is an audience that's really like, this is actually one of the saving graces of your show. You need to do whatever it is to ensure what's going on now, because you guys said it too. They're the future of GH. And you have a large audience that's watching. So the writing has to measure up. And if not, I'm going to back away from that. Let me see. Which General Hospital alums do you think has, there's Demi Moore, John Stamos, Mark Hamilton, Ricky Martin, Jonathan Jackson, Nashville. There's a couple people. See, that's what turns me up. Sometimes the couple fandoms can be too much. It's always going to be the ones that takes it too far, and then there's the ones who understand it is a show. These are actors. We all have lives. There you go. They support him, just wants the best. I don't like the idea of Sabrina because I already know Spencer is nothing but trouble. Spencer is, and see this upcoming storyline, because they did say it was going to be the Ice Princess storyline. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, GH. I'm carefully watching this because, like I said the other day, the Ice Princess storyline was a big deal for the General Hospital history. Sadly, though, you only have two people that was there from the OG, and that's Laura and that's Robert. Now, If you're going to incorporate the future, yes, Spencer, because he's a Cassidon and his grandma is a Spencer. Trina is a part of that because, stuff like that. And the thing is that, Lakina, a lot of people are saying the same thing you're saying right now. They do not trust Dan and Chris and the writers to do the Ice Princess storyline. I will say this, and I got confirmation. I don't know if you guys know, but they did say Constance Towers is coming back. That's one. That's one person I said. I need for them to get Tony Gary, and I need for them to get Jonathan Jackson. I need for this to be the adventure story. Just like with Days, I need the adventure on General Hospital. They just don't make good super couples like they used to. See, okay. I will say this. I think the term super couples have now gone. What I always say is you have the modern day super couples. Because, yeah, you're never going to get a Patch and Kayla. You're never going to get a Bo and Hope. You're never going to get a Luke and Laura. You're never going to get, a Victor and Nikki. And the reason I say that, you're still going to get couples. Don't get it twisted. But what I'm saying is that you're not going to get the same investment that we got when we saw these couples get together. Meaning that some of these couples did not take 3 weeks and be like, love, 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 moon, stars, and strut, and all that stuff. And then you're a couple for a hot year and you get 5 years worth of writing in that year and everything is fine. You need to have that balance of the courtship, the drama, the, oh my God, they were so close. The, oh my God, the, yay, we're together. Something happens. Oh no, somebody dies, fake a death, fake a pregnancy, whatever. They come back, new world, new life. Who's this? Then we go through this whole will they, won't they kind of thing. And then you get them to be in a happy place. You have to go through the whole, yeah. That's what makes us so connected to these characters and also to these couples. So, it's just whatever. Do you think that Ashford, Robertson, Taggart are considered to be the new core family of GH? No. Because the Taggarts was already established with Mama, Taggart, Gia, and now with Trina. I said what I said. I need a DNA test to prove my point because I don't think they should have messed with Trina's paternity. That's just me. The Ashfords and Robertson, like, I feel as though they're, because somebody said this and I was like, I can't do that. I can't say it. But they was like, do you consider them to be the new Wards? Like, so I see what you're saying. That's a tricky question. It really is. Because I have a funny feeling like in the next couple of months, they could all be gone. Certain ones, So we'll see. This could be a great opportunity to introduce a recast Lucky. Exactly, because his brother technically is in a coma and his sister's in a coma. Fun. Laura's kids is nowhere to be found. If you've seen them, please let us know. That's why I said for the Ice Princess, even if they get Jonathan Jackson for it, because Jonathan Jackson will come back for a stint. Because that's what he did last time when we brought back Jake. Remember that? I mean, I know some people don't like Jacob Young's version of Lucky, but look, we need Lucky. We need a Lucky. Greg Vaughn is busy. By the way, he still hasn't said yes and he still hasn't said no to me. But, just saying. Because Lord knows I need Lucky Spencer on that show. There's a couple people that I want. Oh, real quick. Okay. By the way, today also is the 30th anniversary of Faces of the Heart. I am praying that on Monday we get a new opening, that they're going to surprise us with a new opening. Like, but I really, really, yeah. I still have a chance. I really do. Because it wasn't a no and it wasn't. So I'm thinking maybe like he needs time to think about it. And it's fine. We all need time, Are you attending the All My Children reunion Zoom on May 7th? I am going to be there. Come on now. Y'all know I couldn't miss that. That's another show. I mean, and see, it's crazy because ABC could really come back with all much. I mean, I know they were supposed to do Pine Valley and it didn't get green lighted, which I was kind of like, but I understood. Right now, I'm just really excited about. Well, in a couple of weeks, the daytime Emmy nominations are going to come out. Ooh, oh yeah, Greg Vaughn. Uh-huh. So for those who don't know the story, not only do I do Soul Party 411, but I also do Take Two Radio. And it was a couple of months ago, we had Greg Vaughn for our 10th anniversary episode. And Greg Vaughn, every host got to ask a question. I said, okay, I'm going to be a fan. I'm like, as a joke, right? Okay. It was a joke question because I was told, I don't know how I am, right? So I asked him to marry me. I was being cool about it. I was like, yeah, and we joked about it, obviously, but he didn't say no. He didn't say yes. So I'm in the maybe percentile. So technically I could say that I'm engaged to Greg Vaughn. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. But yeah, Greg Vaughn is super cute. You remember him from Charm? Look, I am old enough. I remember him from Malibu Shores. For those who remember that show, do you guys remember Malibu Shores? It came on Saturday night, around this time, actually, on NBC. Play that music. Right? He is freaking cute. He's another person that got better with age. I'm just saying. I'm like, yes. When he came on General Hospital as Lucky, because I remember him as Diego on Young and the Restless. But when he came over on General Hospital as Lucky, I was all here for it. That hot tub scene with him and Sam, my God. Like, oh, child. Greg Vaughn, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Vaughn. Just saying. Greg Vaughn. Where's that picture at? I'm like, yeah. He is too cute. Yeah. I can't believe General Hospital is 60, though. That's, woo. Damn it. We're about the same age. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Wait a second. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Probably not, because it's blurry. Oh, shoot. Okay, maybe. No. Okay, so there's me and Greg. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be too blurry. But yeah, we're about the same age, so don't feel old. Oh, man. We were talking about, that was funny the other night. We was talking about old shows and stuff. And we talked about Malibu Shores. Malibu Shores. Thank you, Lakina. And we were talking about like how we first saw some of these people or that we've known in the soap world for so long. Like I said, I've known Steve Burton longer than I thought because obviously Out of This World. Would you like to? Like, seriously, I thought as a kid, if I did this, like, I would freeze everything. I got lied to. But then I remember on the Mickey Mouse Club, for those who watched it, there was a show within the show called Secret Bodyguard. And Steve Burton played the jerk. And then I saw him, obviously, in soaps later. So I've really known Steve long time. Anywhere. Greg was your first Lucky? Aww. I feel like that was a sitcom moment. Aww. Greg was fine. I wanted to be Evie so bad. Right? Like something happened. I want to find out I want to know if Steve, I need to follow up because I heard through the grapevine they might do a reboot of Out of This World with Evie's daughter. Or is it granddaughter? Something like that. Evie's daughter or granddaughter, something like that. I'm like, hey, granddaughter? Woo! Okay. That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool to see that. That and My Secret Identity. Because remember, if you grew up again on Saturdays, on in syndication, it was My Secret Identity with Jerry O'Connor and Out of This World. Seems like most kind of supernatural. Yeah. Despite what they were doing, but let me see. Oh yeah, Greg Vaughn as an alcohol, like as a alcohol as a druggie, and then you had, Jonathan Jackson playing. It was good. Um, yeah, My Secret Identity. Like I got lied to as a kid. Spray does not make you fly. Okay. I mean, if you sniffed it, you probably became high. But not saying that y'all should have done that because I didn't do that. But I'm just saying, like, now that's a show they should actually remake too. My Secret Identity. Yeah. Wait, can I play music on here now? I think I can play music on here. Y'all have no idea how much I love this now. Again, people, I understand that y'all don't want me to cry for the Guy Light stuff, but wait. I'm now taking requests here. Oh, Mara West knows how to play anything. Mara West, let me tell you something about Mara freaking West. Mara West graduated from the School of Beverly McKinsey. Okay, with honors. So much so that she opened her own school. The acting school of Mara West. And certain people graduated from that. And I'm not going to say no names, but y'all already know who did. Which Days alum do you think had the most successful post-Salem career? I mean, you got Lisa Rinna, obviously. Crap. Why am I blanking? Jensen, yes. I'm literally going through the whole thing right now. Allison Sweeney. Gloria. Oh shoot, what was her name? The one that says Friends and Lovers. I mean, right there. That's just that's it. Why am I blanking on Days of Our Lives alums? This is crazy. Let me see. Hold on. I want them to remake Sliders. Let me tell you something about Sliders. I'm with you because I think they got unfair. That was an unfair cancellation, and I didn't like that one bit. They should have had a movie at least. But yeah, I'm with you. Why they had Carly drinking back in 2009? Because God Mike got canceled. I'm joking. I think it was because of Jack. But wait. Hold on. So somebody told me this, and I was like, that's a lie. It's been 26 years since we were introduced to Michael Park on As the World Turns. I was like, the devil's a lie. It was a lie. I said, there's no way that could have been 26 years. And I was like, holy crap, it has been 26 years. I was like, Carjack. Man, they don't make those kind of characters. They don't make a Carly. Oh my God. Mara West and Michael Park, ladies and gentlemen. Like, seriously, chemistry. Oh. Can't beat it. Yeah, Sliders, they should have done a movie. I agree. I mean, I'm surprised that really, in all honesty, they didn't do a movie. To this day, I question certain people. I'm like, why didn't y'all make a Sliders movie? Like, it would seem fair they would make a Sliders movie. Right? Carjack was the bomb. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm happy for Michael Park, too. I really am. He should have been Jeff Weber. Wait a minute. Okay, so, wait a minute. Let me see if I can pull it up. Y'all know I had the jam, right? Okay, cool. So, Michael Park still looks good. Where is it? Oh, hey, Jacob, yeah. They do have some good looking men. They do. Um, wait a minute. Oh yeah, I can definitely hear that storm coming. I mean, let's see. There's Michael. Still looks the same. I'm like, how? Let's see if I can find the picture. Trying to find. Oh yeah, the Raiders was. And then I saw somebody. And whoever did this was wrong. Okay, I'm just saying. I saw on Twitter the other day somebody had posted the video from Ghost Rider of Lenny. Y'all remember Lenny from Ghost Rider, right? And I was like, no, y'all didn't just post something about Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, for those who don't know, was a show on PBS that came on Sunday nights. And it was a detective, it was a mystery about a ghost who communicates and teaches letters. And we had to solve the clues. And we had, look, if you was a part of the 4-H club in school, you was a part of the ghost writing, team and everything, because that's how they did it back then. But where is it? I used to have the notebook, right? Because you had to make one, right? Black and white journal. Get a felt pen, get a piece of yarn, tie it around, and you was a part of the club. Word. Ghost Rider. I was so in on that show. I was like, and for those who know me, knows that I'm always with a pen and I'm like writing down the clues. I'm like, yes. Like that show was really good. And I'm gonna say this too. I'm surprised that didn't get a reboot or remake. Like they didn't remake it on Netflix or Amazon. Since they're doing other shows, Don't get me started. I saw the new He-Man. This is the portion of the show where Candice, sidetracks from soaps to shows that she grew up watching, and I don't get it. What a new version of Ghost Rider? Or is it just the encore? Lakina's about to tell me something new here. Because I remember them saying something about them trying to do a new version of it, but I don't think it got picked up. Unless this is the one you're talking about. We don't talk about that. There's some shows you just don't talk about, or movies. Case in point, Gem and Holograms, the movie. We don't talk about that. Nope. Nope. And nope. Animated He-Man. Because their theme song, okay, so it's on I think it's on Netflix or Amazon. But He-Man, it was like, they just finally used the right opening. Like He-Man, I am He-Man. Hi, my name is Adam. Like, and then don't get me started with Shira. Okay? Because seeing that new one too. Right, exactly. That never happened. Never happened. Nope, never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Wait, are you serious? They canceled it? Oh, Wendy. Darn it. How much money I got put up? I'll put up money to get her on a podcast. Sure. Because I was wondering what was going on with that. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I miss Wendy Williams. I need her more than I ever did before. Have you seen Call Me Kat? Yes, I have seen Call Me Kat, and I'm glad that it's coming back. Thank you, Fox, for restoring my faith in you. Are you excited about the new Little Mermaid? Yes, I am. And in case y'all didn't know, last year I met Jodie Benson, and I screamed and I cried, and we talked about the new one, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking for it. Have I ever seen Smallville? Somebody save me. Okay, sorry. No, okay, sorry. Yes, I've seen Smallville. I'm gonna say something. I love you guys know me probably as just, being a soap opera fan, but I love comic books. So I credit the WB for doing Smallville. And I did watch Miranda before it became Call Me Cat. I actually watched the UK shows. Only part of Jumping the Holograms movie I'll claim is the 5 minutes with Keisha is. I'll let you have that. I mean, also no, even though I like this actor and I know I would get shamed if I say who I like, but even that part I was just like, Lord, why? Why are you in this as a cameo? Like, woo, child, like people can bash all they want. Wait till they see the Peter Pan movie. We got Black Tinkerbell. Huh. My whole thing, this is the sad part. This is, in all honesty, this is really sad. My whole thing is that growing up, you were allowed to have an imagination of you being the character. And for me, I mean, The Little Mermaid is my favorite Disney character of all time. I love Mickey Mouse, but Ariel was my. And to me, my whole thing is that everybody does deserve representation. Everybody does deserve, that, So I just like people stop being so pressed about everything. Like, my God, seriously. I do know about Harley Quinn. It's funny because who did an interview? And they was like, yeah, did you know a soap opera gave the, for DC Comics? And somebody was like, no, like they didn't know. And I'm like, yeah. And they were talking about that. So yes, that is a true fact, folks. Days is responsible for that. Why do writers? I'm like, Missy, when Sherry Shepherd got started on Wendy, I knew it was over for Wendy Williams. I guess there are conflicting reports whether it's kind of, but doesn't look good. My thing is that I wouldn't mind for Wendy. See, okay. I love Wendy Williams. I've been to her show 3 times. To me, Wendy Williams, it's funny because a lot of people didn't like Wendy Williams, but now, hindsight, you need Wendy Williams. You need somebody to kind of give you the tea, give you the lowdown and stuff like that. When she started when her health became more like of a presence and stuff, we knew that probably would not interfere, but kind of, you know what I'm saying? When her mom died, that took a toll. Her ex-husband, the bank situation. There was a lot of things that everybody kept saying, oh, this is karma for all the stuff that Wendy Williams has done. And I'm like, really, y'all? Okay. I am looking forward and I'm hoping that she still can do something like a podcast because I miss Wendy. I miss hearing her take on, certain things, her table talk. Because there's times that I'll be thinking about all these topics that are going on in the world or entertainment and stuff. And I'm like, what would Wendy say? What would Wendy do? What was, how would she present it? And I'm hoping that she can do it. She looks good from some of the videos that I've seen. And I mean, her health is her health and she got to take care of that. But I do hope that somewhere down the line, I can see and hear Wendy saying, how you doing? And then all of a sudden, how you doing? And, I just miss her. I do miss her and everything. With Sherry Shepherd, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm trying to get into her show. Because me personally, I didn't like the behind the scenes stuff of what was all going on. It's because, like you said, once they gave Sherry that platform as permanent guest host, and then pretty much everybody from the Wendy staff is now on Sherry's staff and, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, y'all kind of did that. Like, you used Wendy's show to be the, the catalyst to Sherry Shepherd's show. And I know a lot of people don't like Wendy for various reasons, but it's funny how, again, like with certain shows and everything. See, it's Tara, that when something is gone, you miss it. You really do miss it, and sometimes it'll change your outlook because right now we don't have somebody that kind of is like, okay, look, I'm like, you know, so I'm still salty at the View for firing with Sherry. Why did they fire Sherry from the View? I've heard from money negotiations because she wanted to get a same amount as certain other people. And I think certain people on that show did deserve a bump and some people didn't deserve a bump. And I think also it's the atmosphere in which you're growing in versus what you're not growing in. Sherry, to me, and I love Sherry Sharp, so please nobody take offense to what I'm about to say. I think around that time, with Sherry, I feel as though for me, Sherry was losing some of her persona on The View that she got back after she left The View. And that on when she was guest hosting the Wendy, she really found her back. Because one thing that I loved about Sherry on The View is she was always herself. She was, never trying to follow into somebody else's footsteps or trying to be remade into something. And Lakina, me and you are both trying really hard, but I got put on the spot. And so I think why they fired her was because she stopped being a yes woman to a lot of things. That's just my opinion. So yeah, and there's some other things that I wanted to say, but I'm not gonna say it right now. I think it was a split. I think there was some things that was said and done that made her decide to leave. That's just me. Sherry did love her soaps. Which, thank you, David, for bringing me back to this. The View, you should be ashamed of yourself for that Maurice Bernard interview. How dare you? How dare you? That was not like, y'all should know more about that show than anything. And yes, The View, I will give you credit for playing the right theme song. Because when they said Maurice Bernard, first and foremost, stand up. People, stand up. You're supposed to stand up when your guest comes out. You're supposed to, greet, stuff like that. Okay. But y'all played the right music because when I heard it was like, din, din, I was like, let me find out they're going back to that theme song. I'm like, okay. I loved it. Now, if I'm going to compare which interview, Tamara Hall wins. Tamara Hall is a soap fan. She loves her soaps too. So when she was like doing all this, and then when knowing that Maurice Bernard got on a plane by himself, I applauded him. I posted on his Instagram and said, I'm so proud of you because I know that was a big step. But then when he was reunited with his daughter, I'm crying. Everybody's crying. We're all crying. I'm like, like, Mama Dina. I was just happy about that. But yeah, The View. And I'm going to say it. The Talk had the highest ratings in a very long time during the Young and Russell's week. The View could have done that too. I will say this, yes, having, them on, having Maurice, stuff like that, that's great. But what I'm going to echo something that I saw on social media is, let me see, I didn't like that Michael Grasse proposal when it was supposed to be a second foot. Oh, I was fine with, because, okay, so here's the thing. I get it. But it also kind of goes back to something that Cameron said. And I think we all, it's funny because we can all recall Cameron and Brighton, Crystal Khalil, and even Michael when they were young, right? And the fact that we've really grown up with them, right? Like we literally have grown up with them, right? And the fact that Michael, did take that opportunity, it was a surprise element because you clearly could see everybody's like, what the heck is going on? And to me, what Cameron said is, this is what it's about. Like we've grown up together. We celebrate. We're here for each other. I get it. But also I was like, what if she would have said no? I'm like, oh my God. Like it was the surprise element. It's sort of like something that's memorable. Like again, the Young and the Restless being 50, that's a memorable moment. So to kind of say, yeah, I got engaged during the Young and the Restless, trust me, I do understand. But I also in the moment I was crying because I was like, that should have been me. Yeah, I had to thank for Michael Gross today too. So and I saw my picture with him. So yeah. Okay. But yeah. But they were the highest that week. So I'm like, okay, ABC, NBC, y'all need to step it up. I'm very salty to talk. Jacarius, I mean, you know why that all happened. Come on now. Who was on the talk? Who was running CBS at the time? The same guy who didn't know who all much from his As-Well Turns Light actors were. But they didn't have much time on the show to promote the 50th. I understand. Well, let me see. It was, how long was that segment? Because I see why you're saying it. I totally understand. But I'm just like, oh, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Somebody messaged me and said, I thought Michael Gross Day was already married. I ain't gonna lie, I thought so too. I did. So yeah. Yeah, Les Munez, that there's two people in the world that irks me is Les Munez. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, Les Munez. Because he didn't know his As the World Turns Light actors. That's a known fact, by the way. Sometimes I wonder if Les Munez was still in charge of CBS, how things would have been different. That's the world will never know. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to wonder who else is coming back for you. Because they did say a year, they're going to celebrate the whole year with returns. And I'm wondering, like, could they get David Hasselhoff back as Sniper? Because the ultimate would be Victoria Raoul Gustin. I'm still keeping the faith. Still keeping the faith. Because I'm telling you, if that's what's, because for some reason, I have a funny feeling they're going to do that. Like, they're going to have it where somebody's calling, and then all of a sudden you have the nurse saying, bonjour, merci, and then all of a sudden it cuts to this woman giving somebody tea, and we see it as Drusilla. And that's going to be your Thursday, Friday cliffhanger. And then we find out what's going on. And then, yeah. For some strange reason, I am praying that they do that. Because I think all of us knows in a couple of weeks, these are the final episodes with the breakdown writers. And then they go into, But I'm just wondering, I'm like, there's got to be a payoff somewhere. There's got to be a payoff. Like, that would explode all over social media if they say Drusilla's alive and oh my God. Do you think we'll see Ted? Like, you know what? It's funny that they're bringing up JT a lot lately, right? And to me, I would not be surprised if they do it, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be a little worried because, okay, let me just talk about this real quick. Young and the Restless kind of scored some down points with me because even though I like Victoria and Nate, I don't like certain things about this. Because basically what we're seeing is sexual harassment. Like, we're having sexual conduct between a boss and employee. which reminds me of the Cain and Juliet storyline, which Victoria was a part of. What I don't like is that they're saying that JT was the love of Victoria's life. No, he was not. Sorry, folks. That award goes to Ryan. Ryan at that time in her younging years, that was the Heather Tom years. With Amelia, it was Billy Miller. JT was Colleen's. I guess we could say JT for JT. It was Colleen. I guess we could say that. But I'm curious as to how they're going to play this. So I wouldn't be surprised though. I would not be surprised. But I just don't want them to say everything is hunky dory. Like I know what I saw, and no tumor or anything can change that. Just saying. Nothing can do that. So, but yeah. But hey, guys, I'm gonna get ready to go. I want to eat. But thank you for joining me. You guys made me feel a little bit better because I was kind of a little sad that it's been 14 years since we got that news. I'm like, it's been canceled. Nope. Young and the Restless and Days is owned by Sony. GH is owned by the Mouse. And Bold and Beautiful is owned by Bell because William J. Bell was like, and nobody's going to get property of Bold and Beautiful. And Forever and a Day is by Casey. Oh, man. But by the way, real quick, thank you guys so much for supporting Forever and a Day. And also Tomorrow's a New Day. And also Ove Cove and Coming Soon is Heritage. And there's so many shows. Everyday Women, The Bay. And you know what? Hold up. Let me do this right now. I would like to thank the Academy for everything. I'm joking. And also, I want to thank you guys hanging out. I love you guys so much. Be safe out there. And I'll talk to you again later. Bye. Did it.